Kyle Busch, a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion and one of the sport's most accomplished drivers, has just dropped a bombshell that could change the future of Richard Childress Racing, RCR, and the entire NASCAR landscape. After years of dominating the track, Busch has hinted at a career shift that no one saw coming. But this isn't just about him, it's about a bigger plan, one that involves his son, Brexton. For years, fans have speculated about Busch's retirement, but he always dismissed the rumors. But pretty much all the statements that came quite recently suggest that his priorities need to be changed, and RCR may soon need to prepare for living without its greatest star. Most importantly, Busch has declared his long-term vision, which is clear that he is not concentrating now on his racing career, but on how to prepare the future for his son. Kyle Busch is not a NASCAR driver. He is a father who wishes for his son to achieve things. Brexton Busch makes his mark on the racing arena, with Kyle dreaming of the future. While other racers speak in terms of prolonging their careers, this is one racer who is drawing up an exit plan focused on developing Brexton. He has made it clear that he intends to retire from full-time Cup racing by the time Brexton turns 15. This means the expiration date on Busch's tenure at RCR could very well be much sooner than anyone had thought. This will take a toll on RCR, who brought him in as a prime driver with championship potential. Losing someone like Busch is hard enough, but the uncertainty of when he decides to walk away puts RCR in a guessing game. This isn't just redemption, this is a transition with purpose. Busch isn't entirely off racing. He will be transitioning into the Truck Series for part-time racing programs and to work with Brexton when he turns 16. Kyle Busch's days in Cup racing are now numbered, if not already, and RCR may have to start its search for a replacement sooner than either of them thought. Kyle is supporting Brexton as he lays the pathway to the big leagues, with a particular focus on shaping his son's career. He is setting Brexton up to obtain as much experience as possible in dirt racing and pavement racing leading up to his career in NASCAR. Even if he wants to go Cup racing, Kyle is just making sure that Brexton has all the skills and versatility so that he can excel at any level of the sport. Busch's potential exit from full-time Cup racing is not something personal in nature and would displace the entire scenario of NASCAR. Without his talent and leadership, RCR's recent success would fade, leaving an immense void. Not only would they have to find a replacement to fill the void, but they'd also lose one of the most marketable, experienced drivers in the sport. But here's the fun part. Busch stepping away will inevitably be questioned as to where his final years in stock car racing will be spent. Finish it with RCR? Could he make a shocking return to Joe Gibbs Racing? Or does Hendrick Motorsports have an unexpected role to play in his final chapter? Answers to those questions will shape the landscape of NASCAR and around it in ways no one could see coming. Richard Childress Racing, RCR, made a bold move by signing Kyle Busch, hoping his experience and championship pedigree would elevate the team to new heights. And for a while, it worked. Busch brought wins, energy, and a competitive edge that RCR had been missing. But now, with his focus shifting toward his son's racing career, the team faces an uncertain future. RCR invested heavily in Busch, and his potential departure will leave a massive gap. Finding a replacement of his caliber won't be easy. The team has made progress in recent years, but Busch's leadership played a huge role in that success. Without him, RCR risks falling behind the powerhouse teams like Hendrick Motorsports, Joe Gibbs Racing, and Team Penske. Time is the greatest enemy of RCR. Busch has not cemented a retirement date, but long-term principles are clear. This creates a position for RCR that is precarious. Do they start on new driver plans now, or do they take a gamble, assuming Busch could stay longer? Such indecision certainly compromises their ability to look downstream. If care is not taken, it will find itself in flip-flops upon eventuality for Busch. Kyle Busch's exit from Joe Gibbs Racing JGR was one of the biggest shakeups in recent NASCAR history. After 15 seasons with the team and 2 championships, the departure felt final. But is there possibly a road back? A return to JGR, on the surface, seems impossible. The team moved on quickly, recruiting Ty Gibbs and shifting focus to younger talent. But in NASCAR, anything can happen. It could happen that if JGR's new set of drivers continues to disappoint, an option to return to Busch may open one in which he could accept a part-time deal while focusing on Brexton's career. There is also the fact that Toyota wants to think about this. Busch had a long-standing regard for Toyota all along before hitting RCR and Chevrolet. Should Toyota wish to bring back another one of its biggest stars, then a deal with JGR would work somehow. It would take major changes around the paddock though, and given how the franchise ended, there might still be bad blood to reconcile. On the other hand, if Busch does not remain with RCR and JGR's return does not happen, could that now potentially leave Hendrick Motorsports as a remote option prospect? That could have a faint ring of reality. But never say never in NASCAR. Hendrick Motorsports has been, in most cases, as indomitable in the last couple of decades, and with people such as Kyle Larson and William Byron at the forefront, including a veteran like Busch even in a part-time role, it could give the team an added advantage. The biggest obstacle? The Chevy connection. Hendrick is a Chevy powerhouse, and Busch's present contract with RCR has him tied to the brand. Should Busch stay with the Chevy camp and leave RCR, Hendrick would be an appealing option. As of now, everything is quite uncertain. But one thing is known, Busch's next move will be a big change for NASCAR. Kyle Busch's future in NASCAR is not only about his wishes, it's about timing, opportunity, and the changing landscape of the sport. One of the biggest influences on his next decision is family. The biggest tell that Busch is thinking past his driving days is his commitment to Brexton's racing future. If there comes a time when he would throw in the towel on full-time racing, it will not be due to performance. It will be because he wants to be fully invested in his son's racing journey. Sponsorship is another major piece of the puzzle. Busch's departure from Joe Gibbs Racing was largely due to sponsorship issues, and any future move would require strong backing. If a major sponsor is willing to support him in a part-time or mentorship role, it could shape where he lands next. Then again, there is that competitive spark in Busch. While focusing on Brexton, he remains a racer in spirit. If he still feels he has a chance to win at the highest level, he might not walk away just yet. His decision will most likely hinge on whether he thinks his present team still provides him with a shot at championships or whether another team offers a better opportunity. Kyle Busch is one of the best drivers there ever was, and with over 60 wins in the Cup Series and 2 championships, his mark on NASCAR and its culture is firmly set. Love him or hate him for his aggressive driving style, natural talent, and versatility. Beyond his career, his influence has gone further. The young driver programs sponsored by Kyle Busch Motorsports have been instrumental in developing young talent, and he continues to work with his son, Brexton. Full-time racing aside, he will still maintain an undeniable influence within the sport. As Busch weighs his next move, NASCAR fans are left wondering if he will continue fighting for another championship, return to a familiar team, or shift entirely to Brexton's career. One thing's for sure, whatever decision he makes will send shockwaves through the sport. What do you think? Should Kyle Busch retire, or does he have another championship run left in him? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe for more NASCAR updates. Stay tuned, there's always more drama around the next turn.